Philadelphia. OMG. Um, I can't believe that it is so divine. Today is July 28th, 2018. 2 years ago, July 28th, 2016, I was looking at the notion that I no longer wanted to be in the community. So, what I actually did was what I would call resign from the community. Whatever I was doing, writing books, plays, doing workshops here, there, speak, whatever it was, um, I didn't have no more interest in doing it. So I quote unquote resigned from the community. 2 years later, exactly 2 years later, July 28th, 2018, I'm now looking to come back into the community. Um, it's a long story, but what's the difference between 2016 and 2018, which is 2 year span? Within that 2 years, um, I was able to see a whole new life. Um, Everything before that I was doing was based on external. Now, everything that I do is now based on internal, which is why I have the initiative. It's called I Am Big Inner. And as simple as it seems, right? I am big inner. Um, One of the reasons that caused me to actually say I want to resign from the community is because I didn't see nothing in the community that was really beneficial anymore. Um, it was 2 months after I finished my degree in human services and psychology. And in human services and psychology, I had the opportunity to study the community, society, and the world, all the different systems in the world. And psychology now taught me the different system of the human body and stuff like that. But in that aspect of my life, I looked at it and saying the things that I was doing was invalid. Um, that's how I put them. And for that reason, I saw it to resign from the community. And it's a long story, but when you really understand the concept of this world and how the world is so crooked, then you'll understand why I took myself away. Um, Now I'm returning, and I'm returning on July 28th, right? 2018, which is divine to July 28th, 2016. And this is the only reason why I'm returning, because it's a divine order. Otherwise, there's nothing in the community that would interest me to really come back. There's nothing that you can pay me, there's nothing that you can offer me, there's nothing that you can give me to do what I do right now. Um, so that's very important. So the other aspect now of me returning is within the past 2 years, I became aware, consciously aware of a lot of things, and I use those things to develop my own life. Um, so what happened now that I'm coming back out, it has placed me into a different position in life. And before I even get anywhere else in this video, this is the most important thing you have to understand: the position that you're in life. It's either you place yourself in a position, or, right, or you will be placed in a position. So, what type of position am I in right now? One, I'm in the position of where I could contribute to my life, not help. And I'll get to that real quick. I mean, contribute to my growth and my development, my value and my worth in this so called world, right? And because I was able to do that by for myself, I can now put myself in a position where I could offer it to others, which is why I now teach a higher self development course. And I had to distinguish that higher self development course from self development. I know one of the things that happened while I was promoting, though, I started off as, let me put it this way. I started off as doing self development. Why? Because I went through a series of self development courses and stuff like that. So I started off teaching self development, but what I started to encounter was not self development. So I had to change it to now higher self development. And it's very interesting because when I meet people, they're like, oh, I can manage this in my life, I can do this. Oh, that's not what I'm teaching. The other aspect someone said to me was, oh, you're actually doing character development. No, I'm not. When you come to the class and you understand what I'm teaching, then it's a whole different aspect, which is why I had to rename it higher self development. So, in your life, there's a part of your life which is called the nature, and something holds down your nature. If you don't get rid of this thing that holds down your nature, then what happened? You're always going to be in that position. And the position that I'm now in, I could not only contribute to my own life, but I could contribute to the life of others, which is why I now teach the higher self development course. The other position that allowed me to be in as a children's author from before, I am now in a position where I can contribute to my country. So the current book that I'm writing, I Am Bigger Than a Big Fat No, is actually all the proceeds are going towards my country. That's what my trip was about, going back down there in May, is looking at um, President Kennedy in his 1961 inauguration speech that he said, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country. So under that notion, I actually went back to Jamaica saying to myself, what can I contribute to my country? So after going to different schools and different social events and asking different questions about how can I contribute, I found that this was the most viable way to contribute. Write a book and then make all the proceeds go towards the social and economic development of my country. So I'm no longer just helping, I'm contributing, and that's the position that I'm in now. It's a contributory position. That's what you want for your life. You don't just want to help an old lady cross the street. Anyone can do that. But can you actually contribute to that person's life where they're able to cross the street and do it vibrantly? So that's the big difference of where I was 2 years ago, July 28th, 2016, to where I'm now at July 28th, 2018. So, with that said, I'm back in the community now fully, teaching the higher self development. Let me correct myself. The higher self development course, which is coming up on August 7th and August 9th. If you need more information about that, you can actually scroll down on my Facebook page. But in life, you want to be in a position where you can contribute not only to your own life, but to the life of others and to the world. So for me to contribute to my country, I'm actually contributing to the world, which before I know I wanted to, right? But I didn't know how. Now I know how based on the things that I've became consciously aware of. And I'm using that term very vivid. Consciously aware, because we can be aware of so many things, but we're not conscious of them. So now that I'm consciously aware of so many things, I use them to help develop my life to a higher level. And that's the same approach that I go towards anyone that's interacting with me. I work towards how I could contribute to their life to a higher level. And that's what the higher self development course is all about. Um, the nature of who you are is controlled by something. And just as people will talk about, hey, I want to go into the nature of the woods and the water, and yeah, your life has a nature too. And when you learn how to unleash that nature, then what happens to your life? You're now positioned to contribute to yourself and the life of others. So I'm back July 28th, and I'm thankful. And it was much needed when I decided that I didn't want to be in the community anymore. Because if I didn't take that aspect of my life away from the community, I wouldn't be in such position right now. Um, so sometimes we do need to walk away from stuff that we're doing. There's the notion that they say if you love something, let it go. If it comes back to you, then it was meant to be. So this came back to me, and what I'm looking at, it was meant to be. Because I'm in a position right now that I can contribute to my own life, contribute to the life of others, contribute to the world. And I'm not just talking. And it's ironic when during the process of writing the book, I am bigger than a big fat no. I never knew that the word no had such impact on one person's life. Um, Someone could actually tell you no and you go commit suicide. But beyond that, on a psychological level, the word no has damaged so many generation after generation. Not individual, generation after generation. And I only became consciously aware of this when I started writing the book itself. So even that now I have to apply certain things to my life because I realized that I was impacted by this word no too. So being that I'm in a position where um, a therapeutic position where I get to deal with clients and help them to overcome their behavior issue on a day-to-day basis, I could now apply some of these intervention to my own life. Um, because of that word no. So if you just think that, oh, it's just a word no, 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 no. It's more than that. It's a part of your life. And you have to learn how to relieve it from your life. So that's a part of what I'm doing now with this book, contributing to the world. And when the book is ready, you're going to see a whole new look on the word no and how it impact your life, how it impact the life of others that are around you, and how we need to move towards something else across the world, not just Philadelphia. So again, thank you, and I'm back in a new position that I'm very well satisfied with, which is why you can't pay me to do what I do. You can't offer me anything to do what I do. This is all divine. Because quite frankly, if it wasn't for quote unquote God, I wouldn't be coming back into the community because nothing really interests me. Um, and let me clarify that because there's a lot of things that's going on in the community. And it's like one thing after another. Um, we can get caught up in those things and we're not really doing nothing. And that's the part that I'm talking about when I say nothing really interests me. Not to be caught up in a part where I'm not doing anything, but to be involved in a position where I can contribute. Contribute to myself, contribute to the life of others, and contribute to this world. So thank you all, and God bless you until I see you next time.